Hello everyone, my name is Nicola and welcome back to another episode of Argona AMAs. This episode we have a submission from Francis from citymatch.org. CityMatch is a national organization that works towards promoting health and equity amongst urban communities with women and children. Check out www.citymatch.org to learn more. Francis wants to know, when you're on a bootstrap budget, how do you know which tasks to hire out to other people and which ones do you do yourself?
Thank you for your question, Francis. We really appreciate your submission. So when you're talking about DIY versus hiring out on a bootstrapped budget, what you need to understand is the financial model, the financial health of the company. If you've already completed a 5-year projections, then fantastic. You've already added in those assumptions at an early stage that you'll need to get to those different growth stages. If not, there's definitely gap analysis that you can complete in order to understand what it's going to take to get to these growth stages. And that's where the financial health really comes in. The other portion that you need to understand is what's going to be driving the early stage bottom line, the revenue. This is most likely a stage where it's at some sort of market validation. And so there are definitely early stage expenditures that are necessary, especially depending on, what the product or industry is. For example, if you need a prototype built, there's really no way around having to spend money on a prototype prior to being able to sell it, right? Or some sort of technology. That's completely understandable. But when we're talking about go-to-market strategies and we're talking about the different ways to present your product to the market, you can limit your expenditures here, and you really have to understand what your overhead is versus what your pricing strategy is. There's just so many factors that go in that building out this financial health and building out this financial model is going to help you understand that. The thing that can help out at a really early stage is that if you have some sort of budget set already, with your advisors or with your team, it makes those decisions a little bit easier. So you can come together and have that discussion of, hey, do we have this much money to spend per month without it really raising any red flags? For example, if a subscription costs less than $50 per month, then go ahead and do it if you think it's necessary, right? That sort of C-suite executive decision making. It makes it very simple to go forward with that. And then you can start to raise that budget as you go up. But these purchases are the ones that aren't necessarily going to be specific towards go-to-market or market validation or any of that sense. That's where you start to build out the business machine. And then finally, you should be looking at corporate structure and understanding the different corporate structure that it's going to take, the different internal and external requirements that it's going to take to get to those different growth stages. This is again where that gap analysis really comes into play to understand what are the resources required here.